And welcome back, everybody, to the Podcaster Nation. That's right. I said welcome back because I know you were just listening to our stuff and you wanted more. So you came back for more. Folks, we have more for you. This is the place that is about podcasters. It's for podcasters. It's done by podcasters. And I know you cracked the code. Today, our guest is a podcaster. Man, way to figure that out. This is the place where we come together to support each other. This is the place where podcasters come to sit in the other seat, to be interviewed instead of doing the interview, where they get to like let a little bit out and talk about their craft. This is the place where the rising tide raises all ships. Thank you for joining us today. Love what you folks have been doing, all the likes and shares and subscribes. We're growing at a crazy, crazy, crazy rate, and it's all because of you. So thank you for that. If you're not doing what you're doing, I can't sit here and do what I'm doing. Let me bring in our guest today. I've had the great privilege of interviewing this gentleman before. We didn't get to talk about podcasts, and we talked about some other stuff that was important to both of us, and it was awesome. So I already know a little bit about this guy, but you guys are going to be blown away when you hear some of this stuff. He's got a great story. He's got some great products, great podcasts, and he has three of them. So all of you folks that are out there going, man, I don't have time for my one, you're going to have to retire that excuse after you listen to this guy. All right. So please, he's laughing. Please welcome to the podcast, Yusef Marshall, host of three different podcasts, Inspiration Station, One on One with Mista Yu, and Big Blue Lifers. Yusef, welcome to the podcast, brother.
Hey, thanks for having me. It sounds fun already, man. I love what you're talking about. I'm already giddy already, but this is awesome, man. Thanks for having me on, Rory.
Well, it's
Appreciate it,
all
brother.
good. Appreciate you coming on. All right. So just to kind of get us going, because I can sit here and I can give all of your stats. The most impressive one to me, I said before, you got a wife, you got three daughters, you got six grandchildren, you got one great grandchild. Dude, if you just mic dropped it right there, round of applause and have a great day because that's just amazing. That's
Round of
amazing you have
applause.
that.
That's funny
Amazing.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
amazing. But you know what? Tell everybody, who is Yusef Marshall? What are you about, brother? And what brings you here today?
Well, I think my catchphrase, it's almost time for a t-shirt at this point. I say it so much now. I consider myself a jack of all trades and I wear many hats. I've done so many things in life, and I'm not gonna say I've mastered any of them, but I've been in so many different experiences that I kind of just feel like I'm a pretty well-rounded person. I guess if I would say what I'm doing right now, obviously I'm podcasting at what I think is a high rate, not as high as yours, but at a high rate, moderate rate of success. I am also author. I have several books in the workings. I also have some history in ministry. I'm a ordained minister, so I teach and develop leaders and do a lot of roundtables with men talking about men's issues and stuff. And you're going to see a lot more of that coming to the podcast very, very soon. So I'm excited about that. But I mean, those are the things I got my hands on mostly. My wife and I just started a nonprofit for children's awareness and children advocacy recently. So it's brand new, fresh out of the box. Still smells like Similac. It's not fully grown yet, but we're working on that, and it's exciting. It keeps us busy. We there's no shortage of time throughout the course of a 7-day week to do things. But I'm excited about where I am, and that's kind of where my energies are going right now. I do other stuff too, but I guess those things don't have as much as my time as the things that I name. So that's kind of where I am, and it's kind of what I'm about. I guess, and I guess to top it off, put a little cherry. It is such a thing. I put a cherry on top. I'm known to be a mentor and life coach to people in different spots around the country. So I do give some folks my time and try to help folks get some places that I was fortunate enough to get to myself. So that's the short crib notes version of what I what I'm doing and who I am as a person.
Nice. You're also a chef and an ordained minister?
Yeah, all that stuff is just it's all in there. I'm not doing anything professionally in the chef area. I'm out of that game. I had some fun down here in Charleston in the kitchens doing stuff, and I saw what I saw, and I've experienced what I experienced, and I'm not going back. So I just do things for fun now. Friends and family invite them over and get them some gourmet meals, and just have some fun with it, and get my chops in. Then I send them home, and I clean up, and I go back to the other world. So I
All
have I,
right.
I have fun with it.
Well, I definitely want to get into some of these other points that you raised, but I guess, do you want to talk a little more about the not-for-profit you're putting together? Because I mean, that's Kind of big news, brother.
I think it's awesome, man. I'd love to talk about it.
Yeah, tell
The name
me
of the name
more.
of, yeah, sure. The name of the nonprofit is Save the Children SC, as in South Carolina. We started it, I'll probably say about 4 months ago. I guess, yeah, officially we can get all the paperwork done and go through all the red tape because there's plenty of it. Probably about the last 2 months and a half or so we've been official. Uh, the whole idea of it was to address some needs that we think are prevalent in the community regarding children. So when I say children awareness and children's advocacy, people's eyes light up, but they don't know what I'm going to say yet. But a lot of it is designed around reading and financial literacy. I mean, so many kids don't even know how to make change. You know what I'm saying? Or they go to the store. I mean, I've even seen it with people that are close to us. They go to the store with a $10 bill, and that store owner, they're not getting rich, but they're going to have extra money because the kids are not going to get the right change back because they can't count. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna deal with reading and financial literacy because both of those issues are probably everywhere. To be honest with you, there's probably not a state in the country that's not dealing with that, but we're gonna address it here. Also, life skills, how to treat the opposite sex, how to be a young man or a young lady, morals and values, and we're gonna try to encourage that. I know parents, it's their job primarily to do that, and we're not gonna come take their job from them. The education system is supposed to do that, some of that stuff as well. They're supposed to. So I talk to teachers and educators and administrators all the time, and I can see that their coursework is being streamlined for specific things, and not some of the things that I think kids need to know they can't afford to not know. So we're gonna hopefully through the nonprofit, if we do it right, it's gonna be addressing those three areas and begin to start uh, strengthening the next generation. Because if one generation is not doing well, the impact of that is four generations back down the line. So we want to try to make sure we try to encourage that, and we're gonna do it through biblical values. That's not being hidden. We're gonna be doing that through that, but also application, practical life skills. We're gonna have teachers and educators and volunteers come in and try to help us strengthen the community because we need that. So SaveTheChildrenSC.com is where you can find our work. There's some merch there, but of course the merch is just to kind of promote what we're doing. It's not designed to, make us successful, just to kind of highlight what we're doing and have people support us publicly. But we have some merch there, some information about the programs we're going to be starting soon. It's a slow burn. Doing nonprofit work is not easy. It sounds idealistic and great on the surface, but it's not easy to do this because it's nonprofit.
Right.
So a lot's happening with you and relying on your out of your own pocket and donations and things of that nature. But it's worth the challenge. It's worth the
Nice.
work that we're putting in right now because I think the kids are worth it. So
I love it. I really love it. Power to you, man. I'm going to support it any way I can. I think it's
well, that's
fantastic
awesome.
what you're
Thank you, man. Thank you. That's
doing.
great.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go on there and get one of those shirts. I can wear it on the podcast.
Ooh,
Talk about
that'd
it.
be nice.
That's right.
Hope
So
your ratings don't go down, but that'd be nice.
as soon as I start showing off this, 55-year-old dad bod, we'll see what happens.
Ooh.
Right on. Anyway, so hey, outside of that, congrats on that. Very cool.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're also an author. So I know you've had some stuff published. The book that you had out before, The Heart of the Stepfather, right?
Yep.
Tell me about that real quick, and then let's talk about the new stuff you have coming out.
Yeah, the story is just like this. It's a great story to me because it was a breakthrough for me as a writer. I've been writing since I was 6 years old, and I mean that it's not hyperbole. That's really 6 years old. Been writing journals and little short stories since then. Uh, I think the book was the first opportunity to be fully published by somebody, not a self-pub, but somebody, a publishing house taking my work and distributing it. So that was a big step for me when I was around people who were doing it the other way. So that was a big thing. It was the third largest Christian publishing company at the time. They went belly up. I did not get my royalties. So there's that part. But it was probably the most fulfilling story I ever wrote because it was my first release from all the stuff I was dealing with. And we talked about that on previous discussion that we had together about fatherhood and not having the uh, the blueprint on how to be a father, but still having to do that for young children. Blended families and things that relate to uh, issues that are germane to men specifically. So that book was a breakthrough for me. It was a healing part of the healing process. So I'm glad I wrote it. I honestly don't even think about the royalties and all the money that was missed. And people talk about the book now and they can't even find it. Let's put it cost them a little under $200 a copy. I'm like, so I'm not super thrilled with that situation, but the company, their decision, I guess we had to just live with their decision, with the results of their decisions. But I'm bringing out a revision of the book. The running title right now is going to be Skipping the Step. It's a lot of long title beside that, but Skipping the Step because I never saw myself as a stepfather. I never used the term. It was used for me, but I never used it. It never came out of my mouth in reference to myself. So Skipping the Step is my way of kind of revamping the book, adding some new insights and stories to it. So it's already done, it's been done for quite a while. I got several other books. I won't name those until we kind of get closer to the end of the process, but we got 2 or 3 other books that been holding for a while, so they have to come out. So you may see 4 new books, perhaps if all goes well at the same time, which is like monumental. I never heard that as being a thing, but I got some friends that are trying to help me do that. So we'll see how it goes. But I write about men's issues, fatherhood stuff. I write about spiritual disciplines and leadership development, all the things that I'm passionate about. All these books are about that. So excited to
Nice.
see it go on. And I think if I can say that, maybe I am an author again. Maybe I'll be writing more books after that. I mean, I'm just maybe. I'm just saying. I got a lot of stuff that comes out of my mouth on this podcast and stuff. Maybe some more books. Maybe perhaps I can keep this thing going. Who knows? I mean, this might be a thing.
I
Yeah,
think maybe. You release that book, you're releasing it on my show, right?
why not?
Okay, then. That's what I'm
Why
talking about.
not?
All right. As long as I get
Why
the
not?
call on for the
Why
release,
why
that's
not?
right.
Why not? Betty, you did some coffee house, right?
It's yes, absolutely. Okay.
No offense to the coffee house. We like coffee, so
No, we love
no
coffee.
offense.
That's right. So, all right. So, author, awesome. All right, perfect, beautiful. Now, you are the founder of Mirror Time Media, and of course, your 3 podcasts. Tell us about that and how that works, how the media plays into it, and tell us about the podcasts. And
In regards to mirror time, I think it was just I got probably got ahead of myself just a little bit.
okay,
I knew that I had to have some kind of base for what I foresaw that was going to happen. So getting the LLC just made sense to do that. Uh, I don't do a whole lot with the name. It's just something that Mirror Time is kind of part of our motto for one of our shows, our brand. So that's kind of where the name came from. So I'm no media mogul or anything, but I do have the LLC that I've had for several years now. But they call me Mr. Yu I would say that's the brand behind the work that we're doing. If you look at the first 3 seasons of our show, it's not going to be video, so you're not finding out on YouTube or anything like that. But anything that's a listening platform, audio only, you see probably, and I said this to my wife, and it's not self-aggrandizement, I'm not boosting myself up. That's probably the most profound work I've ever done in the podcasting realm. People may just disagree and say they like the new stuff better, they love the video stuff better. I'll let people be the judge of that. But for me, those first 3 seasons, most profound work I've ever done in podcasting because I was the most transparent I've ever been. As an introvert, sharing information is not what we do.
no,
We don't we
yeah,
don't share it anywhere where it can be recorded, transcribed, copied, and pasted. We don't do it. You know what I'm saying? So for me to have 3 seasons of my inner life, my thoughts, my fears, my doubts, my struggles and challenges on Apple Podcasts, that's monumental. And the only reason why I don't listen to it every day is because I think I'd be crying every day. That's how deep I get in
yeah,
telling my story and sharing that. So those first 3 seasons to me, if you ever want to find out what I'm really about, I would suggest that you don't go to my YouTube channel for that. Even though I love the subscribers, I could use the help. But I wouldn't say go there for that. I would say go to those first 3 seasons and listen to them from start to finish. From the first one about the why of the show and healthy hands and stuff from that first episode all the way through 3 seasons, and you will see exactly who I am, probably more than you want to see. But that's where it started from. So name of the show was They Call Me Mr. Yu at the time. So I was talking about life stuff, no politics really, but just life issues, men issues, father issues, uh, world views. I would talk about all the things, especially a lot of scripture, a lot of Bible. And I would talk about those things, and I would just use stories and analogies and anecdotes to kind of share a central message that I think was relevant to the people who we were trying to reach. We were ascribing to be the your weekly mirror check before you change the world. That's what we always said in our show. That's still our motto. We're still trying to do that. Uh, so it started from there, and then it kind of the name change became the brand more than the name of the podcast, and we branched out into well, our sports flagship show. We kind of put to rest on May 1st, but One on One with Mr. Yu is our new flagship show now. It's the standard bearer now. What we're doing there, the work that's being done on One on One is takes my breath away. It's amazing. I mean, it's growing in popularity really quickly, and we're meeting people like yourself, and we're having some conversations that I never expected. So I'm talking to people across the world, quite literally, Ireland, Scotland, America, Australia. I'm talking to everybody now, and it's amazing what's happening. And along with that, we have Inspiration Station, which is like the one-on-one. I'm talking to the people and dropping comments while I'm live, or if it's a recorded replay or what have you, and just talk to people about things that I believe are relevant to them, things that I hear from them, inside conversations, comments, stuff on social media, and I speak to those issues, giving a not it's a biblical perspective, but I'm not shoving it down anybody's throats. It's just hopefully a wholesome perspective on how to deal with the things that people in the world they don't know how to deal with, except with frustration and rage and incessant, very super long, more than 162 characters of comments. I'm trying to find another option on how to deal with some things that the people deal with. So Inspiration Station is designed to help you win the day and not lose it all in the process. So that's what's happening with those. And then of course our Big Blue Life is our New York Giants podcast. We just talk our favorite team and a little NFL with a buddy of mine, and we just have fun with it. So for me, it's like that's kind of my sweet spot. I'm in the right space. I had five, even more podcasts than that. I'm like, just that's not what I need. I need to stay focused on what matters the most. So it's been streamlined to make sure that we are aggressive about doing what we're passionate about and not everything else. So
Nice. I didn't realize it before, but you kind of have segmented your work into like the Inspiration Station is your solo episodes, and then your one-on-one with Mr. U is the interview stuff. So you're not really doing both on one podcast. You've sort of separated those over. That's
yeah,
interesting. Okay.
it makes sense. But go ahead. What was your question? I'm sorry.
I was going to say, how is it working for you? Having done that and made that separation, do you find a
uh,
benefit to it?
I do. With Inspiration Station, it's probably the only of the three podcasts, and honestly, I know I said the name of the brand was They Call Me Mr. U, but I always had to explain it. I explained it a lot to those first three seasons on audio that this isn't really about me. It's the name. It was catchy. It made sense. It's the one that kind of resonated with me when I was trying to find names for the show. But it's not really about me all the time. The Inspiration Station is the only place where I can kind of be me all the way with all my quirks and everything, and still talk about things that matter, still be humorous and funny and serious and sometimes pretty animated, and still do all that stuff and not have to worry about, okay, you know what? I gotta watch my time. I gotta, pull back on this. It's usually no more than 15 minutes an episode. I keep it short, hit it hard, right to the point. On one on one, I'm usually bringing a guest in, so I'm not really able to show all those things. I try to, but it's not really about me. It's about the person. It's about their profile. It's about their story. It's about what they've experienced and how it would resonate with our listeners. So I'm catering to them, and I'm happy about that. There's no problem. I'm not being shortchanged or cheated. I'm happy about it because those perspectives are things that I think people need to hear. Our listeners and viewers go through stuff in life, and I try to find a guest that can provide some perspective. So that show is really about that, a different perspective on what you're dealing with. When I'm on Inspiration Station, I just have fun and I kind of go buck wild and be me. whatever that looks like, however it comes out, enjoy it because that's what I do. So that's the only place. Even with the Giant show, I can't even do that because I have a co-host and we're monitoring that, and of course having people that we interview from time to time. So I don't really get a chance to be me in the realm of conversation that we talk about. So inspiration is the only place where I can really do that. So I really have fun in those 10 to 15 minutes. I have a ball because that's where I get to hang out and let it all out.
Nice. Everybody's got to have a release like that, man.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to have a release. I love that you're doing it on a podcast. I think it's great. Are we going to be looking for podcast number 4 then? The
No, sir.
Save the Children SC podcast.
I don't know what that would even look like. But I told my wife, I said, I think it's my last time having my own podcast. I think this three is going to be it. And now you come over here and you mess up my whole life with that question like that. You put me in this spot like this. Now I'm like, what am I supposed to do? What do I do now? You know what I'm saying? But honestly, I never even thought about it. But I guess I'll retract my previous statement and say, hey, you don't know. You never know.
Right.
You never know. I think there's room for it. I feel like one-on-one allows me to do so many things that I don't think I have to do that. I'm gonna be doing a lot of round tables with men and everything. I can do that on-one because it's still an interview show. So it doesn't matter. I mean, so with Save the Children, if I'm talking to somebody who is influential in certain areas and they can do that, where they can be helpful to highlighting some things about our community, our children, things that are needs. It all see one-on-one just it can bring it all. I can have one person on I'm interviewing. I can have a round table of 10. I can make it work, and it's no problem. So my quick answer is I don't think I need to have a fourth one.
Hmm.
However, the door is cracked open just in case.
Gotcha. Gotcha. No, I know whenever whenever I guest on someone else's podcast, my wife always listens to that episode for sure. And then
Ooh.
she always has something to say to me about it. Oh, hey, I like when you did that, or man, you sure you wanted to say that to those people? And, it's just fun. So does your wife listen to you on podcasts? Like, is she going to hear this podcast, you think?
She does. She's waiting for the power of man. She's amped about that. I told her the date that you told me, and she was like, kind of got deflated, like that's a long time from now. But she's excited because she's been listening to a lot of the one-on-one. She's been locked in. Whatever she misses, she goes back and catches it. So she's definitely anything I'm on, she wants to see what's going on with it. So if I had the audio and video in my hands where I can disseminate it, she's gonna watch it because she wants to see what I'm saying too,
Okay.
and also and get to see who I'm meeting and why I'm here so excited, making all these loud noises at different times during the day. She wants to know what that's about. So that's a chance to find out what all the excitement's about. So absolutely, she's gonna listen to this
Love it. I
first
love
chance
it.
she gets. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, since she is, let me just go ahead and bury you a little further because what I was
Oh,
thinking was,
this
I
is
mean,
great.
you could do a fourth podcast on the Save the Children SC, and you could co-host with your wife.
Guess what? You don't know about this part, but we've already ventured in that realm a little bit. Uh we had and this is also on the audio side, not 3 years ago, but probably about the third year and current. We had a show called the His and Hers podcast. It's not video because she didn't want to be on screen. So it was just audio. We were doing it for about a year or so, but just
Wow.
because of her responsibilities elsewhere and stuff, we just decided, you know what, it was just best to go ahead and kill it. Now it doesn't prohibit us doing a spot episode and kind of just jump in and talking about something. Should be on one, I guess, because His to Hers is kind of dead right now. But we got some old episodes there. I think about 10 or so that are out there on listening platform. We get to hear her and hear her insights on marriage and relationships and business and entrepreneurship. She can talk about all that stuff. She's pretty good. So that's kind of where that is.
All
So
right.
that the whole fourth idea with including her, I wouldn't bank on it. If you got a house, don't bet it.
Don't bet it. All
No,
right. I'm going to
no.
quit giving you grief. No, I love what you're putting together here. All right. Let me go back a little bit. The Big Blue Lifers. I mean, this is about the Giants, the football team, right? I mean, they still
Yeah,
have a football team, don't they?
yeah, one of the greatest teams ever. What do you mean?
I'm just kidding.
Legacy,
I'm a
legacy franchise. But yeah,
So yeah, well, tell me about that podcast. I'm just curious
okay.
that because that's one I haven't had a chance to listen to yet. I mean, it's just you guys being fans of the podcast of the team and like what happens with them, the draft and all that kind of thing, or
Yeah,
what
we
are you
just
talking
break
about?
down everything. We analyze everything. And I want to give a quick backstory. I think this is important. This has probably never been mentioned. I don't talk about it anywhere really, but I used to be. I say used to be 'cause I'm not as much now, but I used to be a huge professional wrestling fan. Right,
Okay,
and I was doing posts on it on social media, Twitter and Facebook specifically. And a buddy of mine, I won't go into the detail, but he was going through some big time depression, having some dark thoughts and stuff like that. And I know that, nobody really addresses that kind of stuff the way I did, but this is the approach that I thought would make sense in the moment. And that's what I did. So I knew he was a big fan as well. So I had a dream one night, or I would just call it an epiphany, to start a wrestling show and invite him on it. Now, I know that this epiphany wasn't from me, wasn't from my own ego, because my schedule was so booked that starting a new show sounded ridiculous. So you may gotta create a logo, get music, create time every week to a new show. Like, I don't have time for this, but I did it anyway. I invited him onto the show. I invited another guy that I thought would be valuable to help us, and we started doing the show together. I think there's some episodes on our YouTube channel, pretty good stuff, I think. We did it for probably about maybe 9 months, somewhere close to that. But the intention of me doing that was to give him a baby, basically. I had the baby, but he's the surrogate. So now he's taking it over. He's changed the name, rebranded it, and now he's out there. He's not dealing with the thoughts he was dealing with before. I would say he's thriving. I would say he's doing fantastic now. And him and the other guy, buddies of mine, that I love dearly, and they credit me for getting them together and helping them build that, which they don't have to, but they do that, and they're doing great now. And because I knew I couldn't say that was the short term gig for me, so I just did that. I think this Giants thing is the same thing. Got a buddy of mine that it was his long term goal. He does other podcasts like college football, some other stuff, but this was his goal to have a dream for him to do something like this. It was mine too, but I knew that there's just a clock on this, because for me, I have to focus on other things, and I know that at some point, this is going to be in his hands. He's going to evolve it and grow it the same way my friend did with the rest of the show. So this is just an opportunity for us to have some fun. I'm not expending too much energy by doing this. We record and stuff, and it's uh it's manageable scheduling wise. But yeah, I told myself at some point, this is probably gonna be your baby. You're gonna take it over and do what you want to do with it. You can have all the music, logos. If you don't want to change anything, I'm good with it. But in my mind, I know this is a short term gig. My first two shows, those are as long as I can do them, I'll be doing that. But the Giant show, I know that there's a time frame on that. So my goal is really with everything I'm doing, in podcasting, is to help other folks
man.
grow and accomplish whatever they're trying to accomplish in this media game. If that's what they want, you know. So this young man has that kind of desire. I think he wants to build on that. I'm going to help him do it for as long as I can. And at some point, I'm going to pass him the ball. He's going to have to run with it and not get tackled, hopefully. So
Man, I love those stories. I love both those stories. You got the biggest heart, brother. I mean, I love it, and I know you love podcasting. We've talked about it.
I do.
I love
Surprisingly,
podcasting. Yeah, it's
I'm shocked.
I know, shocker. I talk to people all the time though who just really, really love what they're doing. It's not even about the money. It's not about, getting bigger. It's not about downloads. It's just because they just love doing it. And so often that just gets forgotten that this can be an activity that can serve, that can help other people, be therapy for them, help them, go through things, on their own, work through some of their issues. And it's such a powerful medium. I
Definitely,
love
man.
that you're doing that with both of those guys, man. That's power to you because it's beautiful. It really is.
I thought, well, I mean, I always felt like I was helping, even with the other shows. I felt like I was helping. I mean, even when I do, uh, I guess I still technically do coaching on the side. It's just not. It's just not as serious as it was before when I had my own business with it and everything. But I guess it's starting to come back to that now. So, spoiler alert, that's getting ready to start happening as well. Even some public speaking stuff is going to happen as well. So I'm just kind of just looking to see how this all develops. But I fancy myself as being somebody who was a connector and somebody who was helping people find uh, some purpose in this life. There's so much despair out here, and people are just, they're on ledges right now, getting ready to jump. And I'm like, there's so much more that you can do. And and for me, this is just a general blanket statement. I don't want anybody to come after me, but if you want to, you can try. But one of the things that I say is that, I feel like most people who are in despair like that, most of the time, their focus is on themselves. It's not on other people. Because if you focus on other people and serving others and doing things in the interest of others, you wouldn't even have time to be in this place of self-loathing, in this place of isolation. You wouldn't have time for it because you'd be too busy helping people out of the mud, so to speak. So I try to stay in that place of gratitude and doing this. So people, when I feel guilty when I ask for help with subscriptions and YouTube, I mean, button pushes. I mean, I just want to keep this going. Like you said in the outset of your show, I want to make sure that this is for others, but I can't do this if you don't do A, I can't do B, and if you won't have C. I mean, that's just where we are. So
Yeah.
I fancy myself as helping people. I feel like I'm inspiration helps people. I think one-on-one with you, Mr. You helps people. I mean, if it raises your profile, it has people look at your books and your blog and your website, and the show helps to boost that by even a little bit. It's great. Just came out of a live interview with a lady. Uh, she has multiple fiction books. One of the guys that I've been doing sports, I've been in the sports community with for almost a year now. He wants to buy her book. Who knew? So he jumped in the comment section and said, I'm gonna buy her book shit that has some great historical stuff. I'm like, connection, win-win. I mean, that that was the best part of that interview. No offense to her, but that was the best part of that interview. I was like, really? Wow. So I mean, that's all I'm trying to accomplish is to create these wow moments where people get connected, people get built up, and they get a boost to keep doing what they love to do so much. So hopefully I get some likes and some follows and stuff in the process. But I mean, if I don't, support Rory. Don't support me. Don't worry about it. Support him. You can you gotta subscribe to his YouTube channel. That's the whole point. That's how I look at it.
Love it.
Nobody believes me, but I don't care. I'm keep spitting this truth because that's how I feel.
It's beautiful, man, and I love every minute of it. Um, and this is that's the best part about it too, is that when you're really into podcasting, like you are, like I am, like a lot of other folks are that get to come on this show, you don't view each other as some sort of competition. You know what I mean? We're not competition to each other. The rising tide raises all ships. People listen to more than one show. So it's important that we're all networking, that we're all helping each other up. And that's why I do the Podcaster Nation on top of everything else, because I want to help other podcasters put their name out there, and maybe benefit from the 5 years of pain and suffering I went through building Power of Man. you know,
It's a
maybe they can
fantastic
avoid a
podcast. I'll
scar.
tell you that.
So I appreciate that very much. Pressure's on. I'm going to have to move your episode up or figure some way out because I don't need your wife calling me up.
She's ready for the episode. She's made that very clear.
All right.
But
I
but
love it. I
I,
love
I,
it.
I don't know where else. I have no other power outside of that. But yeah.
There you go. All right. So as we're talking about your podcast, because at this point, 3 shows is, I mean, it's something to handle. How often does each show come out, and how do you handle your production of them? I'm just curious.
I'm sorry, excuse me. Uh, like I was telling you offline, what I'm doing. I think I did mention that one part. What I'm trying to do, and some weeks are different, but what I'm trying to do is I'm recording, doing interviews, and guesting 3 days a week. So that means Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I'm locked in for like 6 hours or whatever it is. and I'm just doing that stuff constantly throughout that time. Thursdays and Fridays, I try not to mess with anything. I try to give that to my wife. That has mixed results so far, but it's not bad. It's just not where I want it to be yet. So just sometimes I have somebody who reaches out like, I only have Thursdays and Fridays to meet with you. I'm like, so so sometimes I oblige them. She's good with it. She understands it's an isolated incident. But I leave Thursday through Sunday alone. I don't do anything in regards to podcasting during those times if I can help it. If it's a special circumstance, she's been very gracious to allow me to have the time to do that. But usually Monday through Wednesday, I try to keep it there, and I give, basically from the early being like 9ish, 10, all the way till maybe 3 or 4. All that stuff is it's available. So that's how I kind of manage it. Most the one-on-one show, the only show that's live, I can record it like the other ones. I just don't choose to. So that goes live as soon as we do it. The other shows are recorded in most situations. Inspiration Station, sometimes it's live. It kind of depends on how I feel. But sometimes I record it so I can have it in a certain places. When you have a billing cycle, a recording cycle, you want to make sure you have content for multiple days of the week and stuff. That's how my podcast host works. Not sure how yours works, but that's how mine happens to work. So most times the other two shows are recorded, and I'm gonna say it's manageable. It's been working. Now that I'm doing guest spots, which is like that was not part of the original dynamic. So now it's like as an extra wrinkle. So now I have more work theoretically than what I've been doing before. So that's good though. So it's manageable. It's working. Uh, I recommend if anybody's trying to do this, you know what I'm saying, schedule it. Oh my God, I can't stress this enough. Please, if you're not if you're the person that doesn't schedule well, you better find somebody who does that's willing to help you and find them quickly. If you can pay them in burgers and ice cream, you do what you got to do. But you make sure that you have some schedule, because if not, you'll get ramrodded in this, because there will be so much your schedule. It'd be a night. You'd be double booking like a wild man. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen this. It's not good, but it's a real thing. So scheduling is important. Make room. Have buffers in between appointments. Like we're not talking about offline. Give yourself time to go to the bathroom, get something to eat, clean your nose and teeth, and whatever you got to do during that time. Give yourself the chance to get prepared for the next thing. Don't go nonstop and try to, because a lot of it, that sounds like greed a lot of the times. It's like, you know what, I'm trying to get more and more and more. It's like, that never ends well, because that insatiable appetite, all it does is just kill you slow. That's all it really does. So take the time, manage it. If you can't get it done, I have some potential guests and hosts that have fantastic podcasts, but they schedule the children work with mine. What can I do?
Right.
I can accommodate in some places, but there's some that I just can't accommodate. I'm like, I'll try to catch you next cycle, see if we can make it work out. We'll stay in touch. So scheduling is key. If you try to podcast out there, if you don't have a calendar in your phone, on your computer, get one and use it.
Yeah.
Lock in the time. Make sure you have room to live a life outside of this. I got people who do spot, I mean, especially in the sports room, they do spot podcasts. I'm like, and I was trying to follow suit with them. I said, this is not a good example for me to be following. They be podcasting 7 days a week, just popping up. I'm like, every night, 7 days nights a week. That's not feasible for anybody who have a life and a family, and they all do. I'm like, no way that can be good.
Right.
And it's not scheduled. Most of it's unplanned. You know what? I think we need to do a podcast to talk about this, and it just pop up, and when everybody come and join, I'm like, everybody can't. Yeah, so it's a scheduling, guys. Schedule, schedule everything, over schedule, so
Love
you
it.
don't double book.
All right. Another question I always ask everybody, and I know people are dying to know this because you got three different ones, and you got some pretty unique, things that you do here. How do you
Dying. Oh,
how do you promote? How do you go about promoting? And is there something that works better than others? And is there something you've done that's just a dog? I mean, how do you go about promoting?
hmm. Well, most folks that listen to our show, they kind of, well, any of our shows, they know how I feel about social media. If I can do without it, and it wasn't necessary for what I'm trying to accomplish, it'd be gone so fast. I wouldn't have one account of any sort, excluding maybe YouTube. I would have nothing else because I guess to some degree I loathe it. Uh, but beside that, uh, what I'm trying to do is just be more intentional about promotion on social media. Before I was just kind of just doing it almost like rapid fire, like 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 submachining all of my. I'm like and, and doing that like 2 or 3 times a day, thinking what, the more I do, I'm staying ahead of the algorithm. I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's what's really happening because a lot of times you don't even see the results from that. But so it's like what I'm trying to do is be more intentional. If I'm going to post one time a day, what I'm learning, this is just a side tip. What I'm learning is that if you're going to post once a day, that's fine. That's what you want to do. But make sure you comment on other people's stuff. Podcasters like yourself, I try to comment on your stuff all the time, connect with people, and just say, "Hey, great! I love what you did here." Because I'm not saying you need to hear that, but you might need to hear that. And sometimes we spend more time trying to take than we give. So I do promote. It's not one time a day, just to be really, really transparent. It's not. And I'm kind of okay with that. I want people to know what I'm doing and everything, but I don't know if my incessant posting actually helps with that. It becomes spam and people just get annoyed. So let folks know maybe once or twice a week where I'm at, where you can find our work if you'd like to be involved with it. Twice a week, 3 times at the very worst. Here's where you can find our work. If it matters to you, if what you hear resonates, I'd love if you hit the subscribe button or follow us or both. And I'm kind of just relying on that. I'm relying on them hearing something that makes them want to care, you know? But honestly, I know this is a downer, but I don't have any fancy promotion method. I don't have one, brother. All things I tried, I thought they were all worthless before. So I'm not gonna get that to your people. I think it was worthless. I won't even share what that was. I don't think it had any value. I don't think it really, really helped anybody get over and get more popular. I don't think so. The biggest, and if you don't mind me sharing this real quick, the biggest thing I saw on our YouTube channel, I saw a exponential jump. I'm sorry, excuse me. And that's not, and those numbers are not big. I mean, right now we're at what, 716. That's not a lot, but in the amount of time that I've been working on this, it's been transcendent because I was in the 200s, teetering, 198 teetering. And this is a belief that I already held this belief. I didn't get it from a podcasting guru or anything because I don't even trust them anyhow. But I got this from it came to mind one day, a Zig Ziglar quote that I love. Noted inspirational speaker who's passed on and going on to be with the Lord since. But he would say that if you do all you can do to help others accomplish your goal, you'll be able to accomplish yours. And that runs counter to what's going on in our world. It's like get all you can and stockpile whatever you can because you don't want to lose it. So it's a different mentality. But that's when I started to emphasize one-on-one with Mr. Yu more and bringing people on who had something to offer, who had influence, who had a compelling story. And I brought in one guy. He had like about 1 million followers, something like that. I didn't factor that into anything. I just thought he was interested what he was doing. So we got it set up. The interview was a disaster, just to be clear. Not because of him, because of technical difficulties. His technical side was going out, so we had to cut it short. I had to have a pause and kind of like talk to the people while he got it all straight to come back in. So we had basically a 30-minute episode. It was supposed to be about an hour. After his episode was done, after I posted it, put the clips out and everything, I'm not saying it was his fault. I'm saying what I saw was a 75% boost on my YouTube channel in subscribers overnight. Not a week or 2 weeks, one night.
Wow.
It was a Thursday night. I remember it well. I was to my wife and said, "These numbers are jumping. Are these bots? Are these real people?" The numbers were jumping. It went from three something to 600 people in a
Wow.
matter of about an hour. The clips that I put on YouTube had almost 2,000 views in less than an hour. What that told me is that it's not about you. That's what that told me. It's not about you. You know what I'm saying? So what I endeavor to do from that incredible learning experience is lead into what I think I do best, what I care about, invest in other people. So I should promote more. Maybe somebody can say, you know what, Rory, your guest was wrong. You should promote this much. You should do this. I'm open to it. I probably ain't gonna do what you're gonna say, but I'll listen though. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, for me, I'm like, this is the sweet spot. I promote a couple times a week, especially if I have an episode coming up, and I might share something inspirational once or twice a week outside of the upcoming show, and that's it. I'm not staring at the Twitter feed all. I'm not. I don't have time for that. I don't think it helps. If I can create a conversation with somebody, one person on these socials, that's value to me. So I'm emphasizing community and communication and stuff more than I am trying to get you to like, share, and subscribe. It's tedious, it's draining, and it's like, man, just put out good stuff and just care, be authentic, be consistent, be on time. So if you're going live at 9 o'clock and it'd be like it's 10:20 and you're still not, just be on time. Show up when you say you're going to show up. If your guest doesn't show up, or you can do is delete the broadcast. That's not on you. But if you say you're going to be somewhere, show up. Be there. Be consistent. Because I guarantee, and I found this out, it was really sneaky how it happened. I found out that people are watching, listening, even though you don't know that they are. They're not waving a flag and people in the horn say, "Here I am, I'm watching you, Rory." No, they're watching.
Yeah.
And they're listening. They may not have hit the button yet, but they're still watching and they're checking you out. You know what I'm saying? So do what you do what's integrous, as if somebody's watching, because they probably are. So,
I like that. All right. No, that's why I asked the questions, man, because, everybody has a different thing that works for them. And that's what we do. We kind of put that out there. So
oh yeah.
you're probably going to have a very different type of answer on this one, too. So I'm just going to throw it out there. I think we've
Oh,
talked about it briefly, but have you done anything to work on monetization of your podcast then?
um, have I done anything towards? I mean, there's little things, little leaps that you can do. My podcast host, it kind of let you do ads for other people, and I mean, we talking about 3 cents, 13 cents. It's a slow grind. It's not moving the needle. I mean, I used to buy penny candy with that back in the day, so it's not a whole lot going on. Uh, but beside that, I mean, the YouTube part, I kind of want to see. I heard so much about it. I kind of want to see what happens when you hit 1,000 subscribers. I want to hit that more out of curiosity than out of desperation. I want to just see what happens. Okay, if I hit 1,000, what happens? Do I get a party? Do I get cake? I'm just curious to see what happens. You know what I'm saying? So, so I'm at 716 now. I'd love to get 284 more, 284 people to help me out. So I can see what happens. What do? They send you a nice email. Do you get a T-shirt? I mean, I'm just curious what happens. Can you start doing ads? What happens? So I'm just kind of just curious about that part. But in regards to monetization, I think there's a community that you and I are pretty aware of. They do podcasts and they kind of help connect you with other podcasters. I probably see most of my monetization, if you will, through that community, and I'm very very new in it. And I saw a good little bit so far in a short amount of time. So I'm like, wow. So that's probably the most. I say the most. I don't want to quantify it in terms of dollars and cents. So that's not my intention. But I saw the most progress per day, per week, per month in that community than I have in anything else that I've been doing so far. So Facebook has a monetization option there, which is also pretty minimal. Uh, Twitter, theirs has some challenges with it. I was doing it for a while and it was pretty decent for a little bit, and then it kind of just went. The floor fell out.
Yeah.
So this community so far has been the best one. I don't know. There's more. Honestly, I'm at a place where I'm open to hear options that have been working for people, sound proven options that have been working, and I'm willing to put the work in to do what got to be done. Because at the end of the day, if we're talking about going full time with this, I mean, you practically doing that anyways. You're already in the full time box, if you will, already. I am. I'm committing. I'm a little bit more than part time right now. I'm not even full time anymore. I'm a little bit more than part time, but I work hard despite that.
I hear
But
you.
yeah, so if there's options out there that you're aware of, I'm open to hear because every little bit helps us, and as a community, we need each other anyway. So,
Right on.
well, I'm not doing near enough, I'm sure. But
I appreciate your honesty on it. I mean,
yeah,
that's
man.
cool. I mean, I just to clarify, I actually am full time. This is what I do.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't have any other job.
I can tell by the numbers.
So
Eight shows a day. Yeah, you're full time.
it's yeah, I don't have
That's
time to
that's
do anything
that's
else.
that's a shift. That's a day shift.
Yeah. So, but the community that you're talking about is Podmatch. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yes,
I don't
correct.
mind saying that on here and
Oh,
giving
I didn't
Alex
know.
a.
I didn't want to be
I
a
appreciate your courtesy there,
fool.
but I mean, I love that community, and so I want to promote it too. If you're a podcaster and you're not on Podmatch, go check it out. Alex put together a great platform over there. He's done a great job. It really
Without
does
question.
work for all of us as podcasters, and I love every minute of it. So yeah, absolutely, head on over to Podmatch, check it out. Neither one of us get any money for sending you there. Just go look,
No,
just
no.
go check it out. But I appreciate you answering that. Now I do have my corny question. This is like my Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll be back. He's got to say it in every episode. So here it is. You ready? All right. It's huge. I
I'm
mean,
ready.
you've been waiting for this. I know. All right. When it comes to doing podcasting, all right, what is it the thing that you love the most about doing your podcasting, and what is it that you just absolutely dislike the most about doing podcasts?
I think what I love the most is pretty easy. Talking to folks like you. It's fun because I'm a person who desires to travel and stuff. But I mean, for somebody who I guess is technically retired, what I'm saying? I'm not able to get around the country and go to every ballpark. Yeah, I can't do those things aren't feasible for me at this point of my life right now with all I got going on. So to get on, I don't care if it's a Zoom or Google Meet, StreamYard, whatever you're using, to get on here, Riverside, to get on here and talk to people like you from all over the country. I mean, to a degree, I feel like I'm traveling. I mean, I can't see and I can't smell everything. I can't eat the great food that you may have, but I feel like I'm just getting a chance to branch out and get out of my world, out of my space. I hear stories like, wow. So perspective is the key word again. I use it a lot because it's really hard to get away from because of what we do. But I get perspective when I talk to you and some others, or somebody has me on their show, or I'm on their show. I get perspective. I hear things I'm like, wow. And you think your life was rough, or you think you had it hard, and oh, woe was me. These shows are excuse removers for me, so I love it. I love it. The very worst thing, oh my goodness, wow, that's rough. Cause what could that be? I mean, I'm enjoying this so much. I'm trying to find something really, really bad. Uh, hmm, I had a oh God, right. Let me be good. This is the worst thing I could think of right now, but I'm gonna try to phrase this in such a way that nobody thinks I'm talking about them because last thing I want to do is I can't work on A shows. Not just New York. I talk about I see what I want to say most of the time. But I had an interview or two recently where I prep. And we have a podcast etiquette. Podmatch teaches that very very well. They prep us for how to be a good host and to be a good guest, and they really help us out with all these video courses they have. So like I said, Podmatch, like you said, Podmatch. It's a fantastic place. Matter of fact, I'm promoting it right now on your show. Probably gonna do it when we get off too. But I had a couple of guests, and if you go back and hear some episodes, you see what I mean. Where I told you in advance, I said we got 30 minutes. I got about 20 questions I think are going to be valuable to my listeners. Be as concise as possible. I'm not saying answering one sentence or less. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying one word answers because that would be horrible. But be considerate. I had people who I couldn't ask them more than three questions in a 30-minute period. Now, even with the new math, you should be able to figure out what that looks like per question. And it's not great. And I think I get frustrated, and I don't play poker for this reason because it shows on my face every time. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm really trying to promote you. When you come on my show, I'm trying to promote you. If you want to be on one-on-one, Mr. You, trying to promote you. I'm doing a pre-interview to make sure we got our values align. I'm asking you questions from profiles and bios that you have from your website. I'm doing my own research. I'm bringing my own questions. I'm praying about you before we even get on air. I'm getting my own questions. So I'm coming to you with a whole bunch of stuff to help promote you, to bring out of you what I believe is better stuff than what's in your profile, in my opinion. Better than just what's on paper that we kind of randomly just throw out there. There's so much more to us than that. So much more value that we can give. So when you go on a soliloquy, 10 minutes per question, you take you take the bullet out of my gun, and I can't do what I promised I would do to help you. And that frustrates me. And unfortunately, it's hard for me to smile through it. I'm learning how to do that. I think I'm doing pretty good, but sometimes I'm like, wow, you kidding me? Sometimes you see me sip more than I need to be sipping. I'm like, oh, Jesus. Are you really good? I prepped you in the pre-interview and before we went live. Please keep your answers as brief as possible because I want to get more. I want people to hear more about you.
Yeah,
It's
right.
probably a hard one. I'm sure there's a more inflammatory answer out there, but I don't have one. That's my best answer for that.
No, honestly, if we were doing a Family Feud style top five answers on the board, I mean, number one usually is like editing. You know,
Editing. I
yeah,
don't edit
and
anything.
me either. That's how I get around the number one answer. But and then promoting, I think, is probably number two. But I've only heard maybe once or twice, besides you, talking about how guests just like take over the show and take off and just don't really get how to be a guest. So
I,
that's
it,
why
it
I was
does
laughing
it.
the whole time.
Yeah, it doesn't it really doesn't hurt me because there's a certain time on my clock where I'm going to stop you, whether you done talking or not.
Right,
I'm going to stop and say, hey, you know what? I got an appointment in my mind. I got an appointment after this. I can't be late for Rory because I'm going to stop you. I'm going to shut you down.
right.
It's going to be abrupt, Brooklyn style almost, and it ain't going to be cute, but that's what's going to happen because you didn't follow my instructions. But as far as the promotion part, man, I don't know. I don't even know what to even do with that these days, man.
Yeah,
I don't even know what. How do you promote? There's people out here that maybe you can hire to do that kind of stuff, but you have to hire them, and
yeah,
and therein lies the rub. You got
yep.
to hire them. I'm like, I don't,
Absolutely, man. I
I
know it.
don't, I don't know if I have time for that either.
Right.
But so this is a great world that we're in, a podcasting. I ain't gonna sound melancholy about it. This is a fantastic world. I never thought I'd be in it because of my makeup, but I'm in it. I'm sold out to the idea. I'm looking to see this grow, and I'm networking and building community like crazy. I'm trying to make it happen. I want to see big things happen. All we were talking about earlier at the beginning of the episode, I'm trying to get all that stuff filtered into this and cause this thing to become a thing. So this is beautiful, man. What we're doing right here, this is beautiful, man.
Love it.
I love it.
Love it. All right. Well, this is a hard final question then, because
Hard, hard final. Oh my,
you've given a lot of advice already
let me
throughout
sit
the interview.
real.
But the the last question I like to ask is, I mean, you've been doing this for a minute, and so when I ask you this, I'm expecting a pretty good answer, man. So we're raising the bar a little bit, just letting you know. Okay.
The
I mean,
pressure is too much for
time
me
to
to
level
bear.
up. But
The pressure is too much for me to bear, sir.
so. What piece of advice do you have in closing as we wrap things up here today for other podcasters listening to the show who are not quite where you are?
Huh. Well, we laughed about that off air because I don't feel like I'm quote unquote there, wherever there is. If you can find it in Google Maps, let me know where it is because I don't know where there is. But we've been at this since 2020, one of the worst times in our country's history. I decided to go into full-blown entrepreneurship and put my voice out here for millions around the world to hear. What kind of introvert does something crazy like that? I don't know. But We've been doing it for a while. I've been growing in the process, growing how to use my voice and speak and diction and pacing, and I'm learning all that stuff. And hopefully, I'm doing well with it. Hopefully, it sounds good on our shows and stuff. Especially when I get excited, things start happening when I get excited. I start talking fast again, like New York, and bad things start happening. But hopefully, I'm growing that area. But for all you who are trying to get to, I guess, where you think we are, where we have a consistent schedule, we have consistent shows, and people who are backing and supporting us. My thing for you is, and I know we talked about consistency. I don't want to put that to the wayside like it doesn't matter. You got to be consistent. If you say you're going to be somewhere, show up. Matter of fact, be there early. If you're on time, you're late. If you're early, you're on time. Show up, right? And I mean, show up for not for your guests and hosts, but also to show up for yourself. You saying you want to do this full time, but you can't have a $25 hour assignment with a $10 hour mindset. You got to show up. You got to step up, you know what I'm saying, and be willing to be stretched. That's important. But I think the biggest thing is the community piece. I think I talked about it on your other show, Power Man, too, because it's just we we uh mm, we are we kind of understating that one a lot. The community, like we talk about, I just say pod match 'cause I'm free to say that now, so that's great. But that pod match community, man, I mean, it's not perfect. Got some kooks out there, man. Let's be honest about it. But you know what I'm saying, but that community is fantastic, man. I mean, I get a chance to step out of my comfort zone so much and talk about things that I'm not an expert on or anything, and see people who have gone from less than what I started with, and they're doing they, they have had phenomenal growth, you know. And I think community is a big part of that. I'm not saying that Pod Match made that happen, but that kind of community and the encouragement that comes with that, man, you can't beat that. You got to really embrace that because podcasting is a wild world, man. You might feel like, you know what? I mean, especially when you look, if you live in your podcast life through the mirror of likes and follows and analytics and data, my God, you'll be almost like you'll be like you'll be a hermit before you know it. You know, I mean, you got to look at the community part and the meeting people, the real people who you're talking to, like you and I, across the country, real life situations happening. It removes the excuse. It says, you know what, this is a real thing. People can do this. People can make this thing work. People can viably do this. You may not be the next Joe Rogan, but if that's your goal, you know, I feel for you. I'm concerned about your life and your welfare. If that's what you want to do. But if you want to just be full time and accomplish this, I think it's doable. Most folks don't agree with me. They're like, oh no, I disagree with all of them. And you can come for me. I don't care. I think you can do this. I mean, you're doing it full time, and I don't think you're putting your house up. I think you're handling it. You know what I'm saying? So that means Rory's a shining example of what happens when you commit yourself to being full time and putting in the work. He's doing it right here in front of you. So I'm like, you inspire me, bro. I'm like, okay, well, I met you to this community. That means that there's people in our community who are doing what we're trying to accomplish. Why would you not want to be a part of that? So consistency and community, man.
Beautiful. I love it. Beautiful. That's a great way to end, man. And I appreciate your honesty and your candor through the entire show today, man. It's you are always willing to give of yourself. You're always willing to kind of put yourself out there and just share stuff with people. I really value that about you,
Oh,
and
thank you, man.
I appreciate you bringing it, to this show like you did to my other one. Thank you for that, man.
My pleasure to have you on both of them, man.
You got it.
All gas, no brakes, baby.
Folks, podcaster, author, husband, father, grandfather, great grandfather, um, the man, Yusef Marshall. Yusef, thanks for coming on the show, brother. I
Thank you, sir, man.
appreciate you so
This is
much.
fun.
Can't say it enough, and you've been great.
Thank you, sir. This is fun. Thank
You
you.
got it. Folks, that's another awesome episode of the Podcaster Nation. I hope that you folks learned a few things. If nothing else, I hope that you learned it is okay to come on a podcast and just be honest, and just tell your story. And I love that you lead by example that way, brother. This is the podcast that is for podcasters. It's about podcasters. It's done by podcasters. Folks, this is truly the place where the rising tide raises all ships. So keep sailing.